out Stockton. I don't know why I'm shouting out Stockton.
All right, let's get going. Presented by Sleeper. Welcome to Light Years. Andy Liu, I'm a big stats guy.
All right.
But I'm getting older, and I just want to say I know when the Warriors are for real, and this Warriors team is for real. These are the vibes. These vibes are championship contender vibes. That's where I'm at right now.
The way that they're playing, the way that they're smiling, the way that they're passing the ball, and the way tonight that they won this game had championship vibes written all over it. I could argue maybe the last two wins, and last season's team maybe gets the same wins, but last season's team does not win tonight's game, does not win tonight's game by 10, definitely not by 20. Definitely not by 30. That was a 2014, 15, 16, 17 type of performance. Did we even see this in the 2022 championship season? Maybe. Or 2021, whatever year it was, maybe. But, dude, this is ridiculous. This tonight was the first time. I'm sold.
130-102. No Klay Thompson. No Jonathan Kuminga. No Brandon Ingram on the other side. Shocking. And you know what? It didn't really matter because when you have Steph Curry and you have pieces, that's where I'm at with it. It's like we are bearing the lead just because he's so good. Sometimes we take it for granted, but just another 42. 15 for 22, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Basically did whatever he wanted on a basketball court. Like, numbers don't do Steph credit. He was toying with everyone the entire time. Looks like the best player in the league. Some would say he's been the best player in the league for a fucking decade. And it's just a matter of if you're willing to accept that it's a 6'2" guy and not a 7 whatever guy. But Steph doing his thing, but what I'm seeing is, okay, Klay's not there. Moses Moody steps up. Okay, Kuminga's not there. Trace Jackson Davis steps up. Oh, we got one of the smartest players of all time, and Chris Paul off the bench. Gary Payton II is back. He looks healthy. He looks like he looked 2 years ago. Draymond, who's what is Draymond? 65% of where, maybe 70, something like that, right? Draymond. Barely working his way back. They're just, the roster fits. Steph's the best player in the league. That formula's worked out for Warrior fans over the last decade more often than not.
And that formula looked like it was back in action tonight. I mean, it's strength in numbers. It's also, I think, the way that they're moving the basketball, I think, is the number. Okay, so there's two things, right? So number one is the way that they're moving the basketball. We haven't seen this in so long. I haven't seen it last season. You remember Damian Lee, JTA, Bielitsa, those guys were running it like this in that championship year, so I'll throw it to them. But beyond that, we just haven't seen this stuff in so long. Even that last year of Kevin Durant, they were going to win that championship, but they weren't playing this type of way. I would argue that first year of KD and then the second year of KD, they were definitely playing this type of way till it kind of fell apart. But this is what they do, right? They move the basketball around, they get into the post, and then run across screen. Then there's back cutting. Then there's two guys setting the screen. Then there's a back cut off of that. There's a guy flaring out to the corner to another screen. Like it's. I was listening to our guy, friend of the show, a guy talk about the Niners, and he's talking about the Niners running the Princeton offense, and I was like, oh, that's funny because that's exactly what the Warriors run, right? They just run it with much smarter and better players, and we just haven't seen. I just don't think we have seen this team play this type of offense in a long time. And then defensively, I was kind of worried coming into this game because Zion looks pretty healthy coming into the season, even though he's as fat as ever. But did you see what Draymond did to him? Did you see what Draymond did to him in the first 5 minutes? That's when I knew, Zion's not moving Draymond. Yeah, the Warriors are going to be fine tonight as long as he's gonna get a couple flash plays because he's that talented. Yeah, but he's not gonna take over the game that way. Yeah. Those two things, man. Those two things. What are they like? A top? You watch this defense tonight, and you're like, well, that's a top 3 defense. And then offensively, they just This is how they play basketball.
And the thing that I like about this roster, and we'll go down the line, is there's legit depth and versatility across it that allows them to play different ways. Okay, the Pelicans without Brandon Ingram, and honestly probably with Brandon Ingram, they're built to play bully ball. Zion is very hard to guard inside. Jonas Valanciunas is a load. In theory, that would be the type of front court that would give the small Warriors issues. Looney's a great post defender. Draymond's a generational defender. They can hang there. They can neutralize that enough so that, you know, Steph can take over and they can do what they want. They'll play the Sacramento Kings next. They played them on Friday against the Kings. That's not a Draymond Looney combo game. That's a one big and a bunch of wings type of game. And you know what? They got the players to do that too. They can throw Kuminga in there. He didn't play tonight. Wiggins, slow start, but better second. I thought he played better as the game went on.
Good second half. Yeah, really good.
GP2, I mean, I said it earlier, but looks as healthy as he's looked in about a year and a half. Moses Moody, another wing who really, he's doing what I thought he was going to do last year, to be honest with you. But
I mean, he's also guarding CJ McCollum on the perimeter now, so I'm like, what's happening here? Can he shuttle between the 2 and the 3 and the 4 now?
So I'm getting at, they have, and it's early, but this roster looks like it has the versatility to match up with different types of teams, and that's what they didn't have last year. You know, we knew they could beat some teams just because Steph's one of the best of all time, but they ran into a Laker team where I'm like, yeah, don't really have enough depth to spread them out and do the things they need to do to beat this team. You know, we were watching like Moses Moody play power forward in that series, right?
Right.
Now I'm looking at this roster, I'm like, based on the way they're starting, we shouldn't be looking at this as like, this is a bad matchup. They should have enough versatility to match up different ways.
For example, tonight they throw in Trayce Jackson-Davis right next to Dario Saric, who I think Saric has struggled defensively, maybe a little out of position, but I think Steve Kerr, maybe out of necessity, I'm not sure, because Kuminga's out, and that's who they've been playing next to Saric. That's not a great defensive 4-5, but when you can put TJD there at the 5-ish, 4-ish, that just helps Saric space the floor so much, right? It's just, and TJD just knows how to play defense. He knows where to be. He knows how to not make dumb fouls. He knows how to play help defense, which when I first started watching Draymond play basketball, I was like, oh, okay, he automatically knows how to play NBA help defense.
It instincts.
Really difficult. Yeah, it's just, sometimes we did this with Wiseman. Sometimes you have the instinct, sometimes you don't. And I think with Wiseman, you're kind of hoping that he, maybe he doesn't need all the instincts because he's so big. So you're like, okay, maybe he doesn't need great basketball feel, but he can get there. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. With TJ, he was a lot smaller, but he's certainly way quicker. And he has 2,000x the amount of basketball feel that you're talking about. 4 blocks, and I know he had a couple at the end, but he seems like a perfect player next to CP3 too.
Nine rebounds to your point also. 7 offensive rebounds. A lot of that's just feel, knowing what's going on and getting your body on someone and being quicker to the ball, right? I mean, imagine last year 2 rotation players are down. One of them being Klay Thompson, the other being Kuminga, who, like, let's imagine someone high up in the rotation. And they're like, okay, we're going to play 2 rookies. Last year, that's a death sentence. Those are Tony Lamb minutes. Those are, throw whoever out there type of minutes where it's like, none of this will work.
Yeah.
And tonight, Trayce Jackson-Davis, he can play. He can buy you regular season minutes. It's going to be hard to keep him out of. It's going to be hard to get him into the rotation and keep him out of the rotation.
I was going to say, I don't know how he plays, but then I don't know how you don't play him. It's kind of the same with Moody too. It's like, I don't know how he can keep playing 25 minutes, but damn, man, are you watching him? How do you not play him that much? And, tonight, they got a little lucky. Hopefully the Kuminga injury isn't so bad, but that's kind of, I think why TJ even played because Kuminga was out. And you watch this type of game and you're like, if you're Steve Kerr, if the Warriors Looney gets in foul trouble, right? Would you rather have TJD in there to guard Sabonis, or you know what I mean. That conversation is a good problem to have.
And we didn't even in Podziemski, and Podziemski's like, I don't want to say buried, but just like, look, man, he's playing behind 2 first ballot Hall of Famers. It just is what it is, right?
I mean, it's Mojo pretty fast.
He was good tonight. 8 rebounds for a guard, and it's like the rebounds just exemplify. He reads the game fast. He has a nose for the ball. Made some great passes, a couple assists, scored a little bit. Honestly, a better defender than I thought he would be as a rookie. Just incredible feel for the game in general. And, you know, I keep saying this. If it was last year's roster where they didn't have enough players, he's playing 20 minutes a game, every game, maybe 15, something like that. Right now, it's nice to have him, but he's probably going to get DNP the next 5 games.
He does this interesting thing when he gets the ball off the pass that he's already going before he doesn't start his move when he gets the ball. I think part of it is he's just that type of player, but another part of it, I think he realizes that he's tiny and he's not very quick, so he realizes he needs to do that. But I think that's super smart. Steph kind of does that a little bit too. Steph does it in transition a little bit, is that he just gets the ball, and while it's coming to him, he's already moving forward one way. His first bucket came on a behind the back, kind of a push off of Jordan Hawkins. Not really a push off, but he comes the other way, changing direction. Hawkins falls to the ground. It's a layup. Like, oh man, that's pretty nice. But really the coolest part of it, like you said, it's 8 rebounds. He had 6 really in like the first 15 minutes. And I'm just watching it
during non-garbage time. Yeah.
Exactly. And Kerr's playing Podziemski with Chris Paul, with like Steph for some of those minutes too, and you're just like, Valanciunas is out there, Zion's out there, and then, but it's not small though. Apparently, when you've got guys that actually want to get in there, right? We talked about Wiseman, but what about Jordan Poole? You watched the Jordan Poole highlight tonight or low light tonight of what he did, and it's not a serious basketball player. You look at Podziemski; it's a very serious basketball player. He is in there. 6 rebounds. Somebody, Warriors Muse, I think, tweeted that, who's, by the way, also on playback, tweeted that Podziemski has 6 rebounds in his debut. Sam, do you know how many rebounds Wemby had in his NBA debut?
5. I got Wemby on multiple fantasy teams. I'm like Windhorse. I flew to France to scout him. I'm as soon as Steph retires, I'm just on Wemby. No, but I saw the same tweet you did.
Wemby's been is it just the beginning of the season? All right. Before we get to the next part, top of the show, we said Light Years Podcast is presented to you by Sleeper. Well, the NBA season is here, which means you now have a chance to 100x your cash on daily fantasy basketball. Basketball has never been more exciting than it is now with players like Steph. Saw that tonight. LeBron James, who's playing tonight on the back end of a back-to-back, Luka Doncic and Kevin Durant. Pick more or less on stats for these stars like points, rebounds, 3-pointers, steals, double-doubles, and more for up to 100x payout on Sleeper. Get your picks right, and you could win big. Use promo code LIGHTYEARS, and you'll get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. And to our fantasy league.
Promo code Light Years. Yeah. I'm 0-1. I lost to our guy Tyler. If you follow Light Years, Tyler's the guy who makes it financially possible. He's the guy selling our ads. It's the man. But that doesn't mean it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt to lose a little bit there. But I'll get him back. I'll get him back mid-season. Don't get too cocky, my man. You're on mute.
I do love Sleeper though. I lost by 4 points to
who'd you lose to?
I lost to Neil, but
that's even worse.
You
lost to the man who drafted James Wiseman.
Yeah, well, turns out walking OG Anunoby's 4-steal game because the guy is going to be, you know what I mean? Who could have seen that coming?
I think you and I made the same mistake. I saw solid stat lines on like Tuesday or Wednesday, and I'm like, yeah, but he get better on Friday. It absolutely did not happen.
Never works, dude. It never works, man. I'm locking in Steph's game today, by the way. I'm locking that in. It's my guy.
Yeah, now I'm going to quick trigger a 18-point Mikal Bridges game, and he's going to get 40 the next game. Just watch.
Mikal's got your steals and blocks, though.
It's true. All right, let's get back to it. Should we get back to it?
Let's go.
I would be remiss if I didn't say, Andy Liu, are you going to apologize for your Chris Paul takes?
There's two apologies that I'm going to have to make here. One is going to be the Chris Paul takes when he wasn't a Warrior. I will never apologize. Two are going to be the takes I had when Chris Paul became a Warrior and I wasn't a fan. But when I watched him do the crossover behind the back, falling to the baseline, mid-range Poole to put the Warriors up 20 in late third quarter, I almost cried. This is a way better fit than I thought. This is actually a perfect fit 4 games in.
When I saw in friend of the show, Anthony Slater's article that Chris Paul calls himself an over-communicator, I was like, it's my guy. Chris Paul is the guy who texts the group chat about what they need to do at 5:58 in the morning, which is what I do to the Light Years group chat. So, I felt a kinship. It's a lower level production, Yeah, one guy's competing for an NBA title. The other one's running a regional podcast that does above average. So
well above average.
But yes, well above average. But I'm sitting here and I'm going, you know what? That's exactly what they needed after last year. It's exactly what they needed after last year. I took a leap of faith that I thought it would work, and I'm feeling pretty good about my guess. They just needed another adult off the bench. I know you don't underrate Andre Iguodala as a player, but I think we all kind of underrated his leadership value to this team.
Yeah, we did.
Because Steph and Draymond are so front-facing, you don't think like, well, they don't need any more leaders than that. Steph and Dre's kind of, it's like good cop, bad cop. It's perfect. And sometimes you just see another guy who gets in there and kind of provides a different voice, particularly off the bench. And it was so noticeable how much it was missing last year. And Andre was, half retired. And you see it with only Chris Paul, who's, say what you want about him. It's all-timer. And definitely like obsessive hoop junkie and exactly the type of player who can make young players better.
So 2 things. One is that last part. He's a player that can make young players better. I know we love Steph and Draymond, but those guys do play a pretty free-flowing style, right? Like they play a style where it's like you kind of gotta figure this stuff out.
It's tough.
It's hard, right? We're smarter. We're better. This is how we're gonna roll. And sometimes the simplification of the game really helps younger guys. And the second part, I'm with you. I think maybe we kind of overrated the pliability of the way that anybody can fit in with Steph and Draymond through the years. I think they needed like specific guys to fit in with them. But you're seeing with Chris Paul, he can kind of play anyone. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that, Chris Paul is a better player. It just feels like for those 25 minutes off the bench, they needed someone like that versus a Jordan Poole who, and again, they won a championship with Jordan Poole. They won a championship. But for this team now moving forward, Chris Paul really does stabilize this unit. There's no dumb turnovers, and we see a lot of dumb turnovers with even Steph and Draymond and then Jordan Poole. You can't bring multiple guys running a unit running dumb turnovers and Sam, and I'll kind of end my point with this. The moment Draymond made that pick 6 turnover out of a timeout, out of an inbound, and CJ McCollum had a layup that cut that 6-point lead. He had a basket, then he got the turnover, then he had another basket, cut it to 2. Steve Kerr caught a timeout. You know who he put in immediately? You know who he put in?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. So it feels like Steve Kerr is kind of on the same line where it's these guys do spaz shit. And if I have a guy on the floor that just, he may not be athletic anymore, he might not be able to play great defense, but man, we're going to be we're not going to turn the ball over on my watch anymore, though. We're not going to be playing dumb plays. And, dude, you can tell Steve loves him.
Yeah, and it's just it's a balance thing. Like Jordan Poole wants to play like Steph, but there's only one Steph. And you have a lot of guys playing like that, then you're just a team who's just chucking and no other way around it, right? We'll leave it at that. What was I going to say? By the way, you see that Jordan Poole play tonight? I'm not trying to shit on him, just to be clear.
I'm hypey. I just, he got paid his money. He goes to Washington, and you hear some of the quotes he's had. And I know people thought it was funny, and they thought it's like, oh, he deserves it, blah blah. But he said a quote in the offseason that I thought was just insane. He goes, I've accomplished everything in my career. He goes, I got my contract. I got my championship. My career is cemented. I get to do what I want. And I'm just sitting here like, Jordan Poole is going to be 1,000,000 times, bajillion times more successful than I am, especially financially. But
richer.
How can you try to build a team with a guy like that? He's basically just saying, "Fuck you. I don't care. I'm just going to go out there and do whatever."
This is LeBron James league, my man. These are people who think it's cool when he said, "You got to go back to your same life. I'm going to be great." Love the fame. That's what it is.
That is love the fame. That is. We got to bring back that segment. I think we some point here got to bring back that segment because I don't know if you're a Washington Wizards fan, are you happy? I guess you're never happy because you're a Washington Wizards.
Andrew Sharp won't return my text. I just send him tweets of Jordan Poole clips. He might have changed his number on me. I don't know. So.
You're blocked. That's for sure. You're blocked because he responds to my text. No, I'm kidding. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I feel for Wizards fans, but whatever. They got Johnny. What's his name? The kid who's also terrible, Johnny Davis.
I forgot about him.
I watched him play. He was a
Bilal
Koulibaly. Yeah. 4 for 12 tonight. Koulibaly. -5 though. The game they lost by 30. So maybe. Why are we talking the Wizards? What's the next topic here? Do we want to talk about Wiggins?
Nah, we're good.
Okay.
We're gonna play a quick Steve Kerr quote. I want to play or video, whatever you want to call it.
We're optimistic about this team. You like the mix, but you are also kind of like, it might take a little time. Yeah. Is this coming together quick? I mean, it was only 3 games.
Yeah.
Is this coming together quicker than you thought?
It is. I didn't know if we were ready. After opening night, I thought it's going to take some time. We had to get Draymond back and in shape, and had to get guys, some of the new guys accustomed to what we do, and so these last couple games have been really encouraging. It's incredible to bring Chris Paul off the bench, as your backup point guard. It's incredible. He's a Hall of Famer. He's still playing at an incredibly high level.
It's our nightly Chris Paul fellatiating segment.
Start a game off, with Steph Curry, and then bring Chris with a great second unit into the game to keep the pressure on. And that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing Chris, Dario, Gary, all these guys coming off the bench and just making us even better. So it's really encouraging. We have a deep team and really connected. They're all having fun. They're all
connected.
Each other.
Connected.
Good start, but long way.
Steve was meant for this job. That's all I'm going to say.
He's meant for this year's job. That's for damn sure. You know what I mean? He's meant for this team. I'll tell you.
Are you ready for like mid-season? He's going to be like, I was going to order a burrito with sour cream, and Chris Paul, because he's a leader, he came up and talked to me and said, "You're too old to order that. You should get something. Get some."
Oh, he's going to get a whole wheat tortilla, no sour cream, no guac, just beans and meat. No cheese, definitely no cheese. Maybe some brown rice in there. Yeah. Maybe a salad bowl in there. Actually, oh, wow. From the chat, TP2 is vegan?
Yeah, you know that?
Is he really?
It's a couple of years ago, maybe 4 years ago, he became vegan. Yeah, to extend his career.
I mean, he might be cooking, Samuel. He might be cooking.
Look, man, no one plays that late into their career without some crazy Tom Brady diets. That's just a fact. I don't even want to know what Steph's doing. It's better.
Well,
it's better you and I don't know.
But like, said, this cop is cooking. And then the chat is amazing tonight. He used to be a Beyond Meat spokesperson too. You ever had Beyond Meat, by the way?
I have.
You like Beyond Meat?
It's not bad.
I like it. I didn't know it was not meat. And then I looked at the sodium count. You know what I mean? I was back in like.
What'd you think Beyond Meat meant?
Well, so like, I mean, dude, this was like 2018. You know how it worked? They give you free lunches, so you get to pick, right? And
sure.
And I'm looking at stuff to eat, and I'm like, okay, maybe today I'm kind of healthy. I'll eat a salad. I was like super hungover, I think. So I picked like a Impossible salad, and it comes with this meat, and it's delicious. And I'm like, what is this? It's Beyond Meat. And my buddy goes, yeah, you know that's not real meat. And then he was like, it's also really unhealthy. So it's not even good for you, Beyond Meat. It's actually bad for you, but it's, I guess, not meat. So I don't think CP3 is eating Beyond Meat. Although, you know, promo code Lightyears if Beyond Meat wants to, you know.
Our opinion on Beyond Meat is fluid if they want to reach out to us. So
anyway, I enjoyed Beyond Meat. Never ate it again, though. Lightyears meat, yeah. All right, too much meat.
Lightyears meat.
Too much meat talk.
Are we pivoting to making artificial meat? Yeah, there we go. Chris Paul's vegan. It was when he went to OKC that he changed his diet to extend his career, quote unquote, helps with the hamstrings, less soft tissue injuries, less inflammation, that sort of thing. I bet deep down in his mind, he's thinking, if I did that when I was in Houston, I would have beat the Warriors.
For sure.
But you didn't, Chris. You didn't. So, you can think that for the rest of your life. I'm also thinking about that time in 8th grade. I could have set a better screen. We would have won the game. Didn't happen though.
Yeah. I would have been the Jeremy Lin of my generation. It would have been the same generation if I didn't break my ankle. 25 minutes from Chris Paul tonight. I think that's about perfect too. I think that's about, it's plus 17, which is almost a game high.
Yeah, but that's the other thing. 2 games in a row on a back-to-back. Steph played 30 minutes.
Right.
No one else touched their. It's, we've been talking about it, but it's like this is the minutes distribution that this roster that I want, which is like everyone sitting in that 20 to 30 range. If you're cooking, you get 28. If it's not your night, it's more like 20. It's nice. It's very Spursy, right? Like, are we ready to go? Are we ready to go there? Are we ready to go to comparing this team to the 2014 Spurs?
I mean, they are. They might win like
many?
I don't know
how many games into the season do we need to get for us to comfortably say that? Because I've already in my mind
You're already there. You're already there, right? I think
mentally I'm there, but I'm willing to acknowledge it's early.
15 to 20 games. I think definitely out of this stretch right here because it's a tough road stretch. Although they're 3-0 already. Ironically, the only game that they lost was at home. I think 15 to 20 games.
Get beyond Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Maybe not all the way to Christmas.
Man, they start 14 and 6.
SantaCon. Let's get to SantaCon.
SantaCon. Is that still a thing? Back when
it's not for you or me, but it is still a thing.
I've never been to a SantaCon, by the way. Never. You've been to a SantaCon. There's no way you haven't been to a SantaCon.
I do not believe you have not gone to SantaCon.
I've not been to that's not how I celebrate my Christmas holiday seasons. I don't celebrate with we're in a good mood. We're talking Beyond Meat and SantaCon. You know what I mean? This is as good as it gets. Somebody's had 56 wins in the chat.
Warriors get to 20 wins. And we're going to have a Beyond Meat Santa party. That's what we're doing.
Just on Christmas. By Christmas. Nah, they'll have more than 20 by then. But, all right. We're almost getting to the Goons. I want to hear Mikas's. But before we get to the Goons, I want to drop one more for you guys. This week's Lightyears podcast is also brought to you by BetterHelp. if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. Everybody should be doing therapy. I did it for 6 years through some of the roughest times in my life. So everybody should get on BetterHelp. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched to a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Make your brain your friend with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/lightyears today to get 10% off your first month. That is BetterHelp, HELP.com/lightyears.
I don't want to speak negatively of a sponsor, but I wish they sponsored us last year. With that said,
we needed them.
Life is complicated. Just because the Warriors are rolling doesn't mean your life is rolling. You can always use some help. Promo code Lightyears.
Well done. Look at us.
Yeah. It's honestly, it's for the better now that I think about it. It's for the better. The idea of like rolling in Anthony Lamb minutes into a therapy ad, like it's a little too glib for
John,
me.
it's been a long week. I've got things to complain about. Top of the list, I gotta watch fucking Anthony Lamb 3 times a week, and I pod about it for an hour after.
Hey, you watch him? He had a good game for the Breakers, New Zealand Breakers last week.
I'm not. Nope. How many points do you have?
Got a haircut.
Did he get a haircut?
It's not about points. It's about vibes.
Let me look at this haircut that he got. No fucking way, dude.
He did. We'll pull him up right now. I got you. There
is no way. Oh my goodness, I see it. Oh my goodness.
You think I'm kidding?
He looks worse.
He looks phenomenal. I mean, he looks like Anthony Lamb. This is great podcast footage, by the way. I'm just gonna put it that way.
Tim, you only get this on playback, by the way.
Tim, if you are considering editing this is the segment that leaves the pod. All right.
Oh,
anyway.
Goodness. Oh my goodness.
It's enough
anyway. To the goons. Let's go.
Breakers legend. Wait, Luke, call in too. I need some NBL insider takes.
Yeah.
Someone who watches it more religiously than you and me. We'll start there.
Yeah.
Mikas.
Lead off. The rare Mikas lead off. I like it.
Hey,
off strong.
How we doing, boys?
We're good. How you doing,
brother?
Oh, not too bad. I am thinking last year it took us, we got 11 games, so we're already like 1/4 of the way to our road wins. How many road games is it going to take this year to get to 11 road wins? And a little Trace Jackson Davis stat for us that I saw. Only players in NBA history in their first or second game to record a double-double. Here is the list. Shaq, David Robinson, Bill Walton, Dikembe Mutombo, Sampson, Michael Thompson, Karl Anthony Towns, and Chet Holmgren. And now, Trace Jackson Davis. Can we already say in his second NBA game that he's had a more productive career than James Wiseman for the Golden State Warriors? Is that fair to say?
Oh.
Like, this
is not a question. I thought you were going to ask me, will he be as good as David Robinson? And I was going to be like, look, man, drafted to play with Steph. He could rack a couple up, and maybe no. Yeah. I like your other question. 11 wins on the road. They already have 3.
3. Yep, 3.
Now here's where it gets difficult. They have a very home heavy schedule until the new year. Like they have one more road trip here, and then it's basically, they go to Phoenix and Portland here or there for 2 months. So I'm looking at the schedule. All right, Friday night in OKC, calling a win.
Ooh.
Detroit.
Sunday in Cleveland, calling a win.
Woo!
Monday in Detroit, I know Steph's dropping 80.
Yeah.
That's 3 right there.
I remember last year. Okay.
Denver at the end of a road trip. That's an L. I'm sorry. All right. Phoenix randomly on the road could go either way. Sacramento on the road could go either way. I'm going to say they win one of those.
Yep, I think that's fair.
So now we're at 7 wins.
Mm-hmm.
We're now into December. Clippers, Phoenix, Clippers. God, they really don't go on the road very much. So let's say
random
They come to
Brooklyn.
New York in December, I think.
Brooklyn's at home, but yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Wow, so let's say two of those. Let's say they're at 9 wins.
Okay.
There. Now you get into Portland 10. Oh, Christmas could be 11. It's going to be tough for them to get 11 wins before the new year, realistically speaking.
Well, this schedule is hilarious.
It took them until April to get 11 last year. So
January, they have 10,
January, 3 months.
They have 10. They have 11 road games before their road trip on January 11th. They would need to win 7 of those 11 to hit your 11 win total. Doable, but feels unrealistic. Feels unrealistic to be like 11-3 on the road.
I think they're winning 28 or 29 road games this year. I already predicted 58 wins, and so I think that requires them to win 70% of their.
Do we think they're going the opposite, where like maybe they throw away a couple games at home that they shouldn't, just to prove a point?
Interesting.
Is it possible?
Sure,
Is it possible? Is it possible that last year left such a bad taste in their mouth that we'll get a couple more of those opening night Phoenix games where you're like, they really should have won that one?
Well, and they should be 4-0 right now. In that game, they win if Draymond plays, and I actually think, or if Beal plays, because I think Beal would have made Phoenix worse. So. Or
if they just have a little more focus off the top. Like, honestly, they shot 30%.
That's a tough one. Opening night's a tough one. You never know, right? It's like football. Week 1 is always weird.
I'm really pleased with how they're looking, and the vibes are good again, to quote Steve Kerr. So I'm feeling pretty bullish on the Warriors this year. But
58 wins
every other year.
Every other year. Steph looks like he's a guy that's. I don't. At some point, he's going to slow down. But then, Sam, last night I watched LeBron toe-to-toe 41 minutes against the Kings. Man, he's not slowing down. He might not really play defense anymore, but he's not slowing down. Steph's got about 4 years before he's LeBron's age. Huh.
It's incredible. Bernardo, hello. What's up, man?
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you. What's up, man?
It's fine. I just wanted to do the CP3 Poole update. CP3 now has 33 assists and 6 turnovers in 4 games. Jordan Poole has 9 assists and 12 turnovers in 3 games. So
appreciate it, Bernardo.
So there you have it.
There we go. This is the nightly update we need. I don't want to be a full-on hater, but like a half hater, a little bit, like a little bit. Appreciate you, Bernardo. The math is what it is. Okay, add him up here. This is a good picture, by the way.
That seeing Kerr put the rookies in the first quarter already showed me how much trust he had in the guys. But then when I saw him put them in the third quarter, that made me feel that he already trusted them more than he ever trusted Wiseman. And so that was really reassuring, watching them hustle and everything. But I got 2 questions for you guys. Do you guys think if Moody keeps playing like he is are we going to be able to afford him? Knowing that they're going to want to retain Clay in the offseason and all of that, because he looks like he's going to get one of those nice contracts. Maybe not like Vassell, but, something up there. And then second, do you guys think Wiggins is having a reversion to the Minnesota mean? Or do you think...
Ooh.
Yeah. Or do you
Those
think, he's just a little rusty and he just needs a few more games to brush it off? So I want to hear you guys' thoughts on that. Thanks for everything.
I like both those questions. Appreciate you, Adam. I want to take the Moody one myself. I say this is why they're playing hardball with Clay. I think, Draymond took a little less. Wiggins took a little less. They want Clay to take a little less. All that adds up to, we can keep Moody. We can keep Kuminga. No one's paying Looney for whatever reason, which is just unfair to him. It's strength in numbers does require guys to quote unquote take less. The Spurs, all three of their guys took less at various points in their career. I'm not saying I don't know how it would play out, but I does feel like that's kind of part of the Warriors calculus here, where they're like, we're just going to let it play out a little bit because we don't need to commit money where we don't need to.
Yeah, I got nothing to add there. Man, I had a take for the second question, Sam, and I just lost it. What was the second question? Man.
Second question is Wiggins reverting to Minnesota Wiggins?
Okay. Thank you. I actually don't think so. I know he's been terrible, and I tweet every game, at least twice a game, about how bad he looks. I think it's all mental. I really think, and if that's what you mean by regressing to Minnesota Wiggins, that's what it is. But, sometimes people, they like to compare him to, the Niners struggled or have been struggling for a month, right? And they compare Wiggins. And I'm just like, listen, man, the guy's won a championship. So to me, he's always going to be, he's good enough to win a championship type of player. It's not like he's 35 years old. He's not Steph's age. The dude's like 27. So it can't be that he's regressing. I think he's just not mentally there, man. For whatever reasons, I have no idea. But I do think he can get there. I mean, I think he should get there. I think he has to get there. He has to get there. And, it's game 4, so whatever. Come back and let's ask this question in game 20, I guess.
Yes, yes.
If he still looks like this, then...
Here's my other Wiggins point. He was this way in 2022. He's always been kind of a space cadet, and he goes through periods. And I think that's what made the playoffs in 2022 so revelatory and surprising for me. Me personally, was like, I didn't really think he had it in him to like click the dog and be that guy when it mattered. But he did it. He did it. And to your point, he's proven to us he can do it when he needs to do it. And so now that we know he can do that, like, it's not that I enjoy watching him play at this level. It's just like, look, man, if he played like the 2022 finals every game, he'd have a max contract. He doesn't have a max contract because he's just kind of not that guy. He's kind of a float here and there, but if I lock in, I'm pretty good. And I just think you kind of have to accept that. At least it took me a while to, but you have to accept that, not everyone's wired the way Steph and Clay are.
I mean, if he was, he wouldn't have. The Warriors wouldn't have gotten him for
exactly.
Gotten him, for what they got him
same
for.
point. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
He would have.
I'm with you.
He would have, he would have been Minnesota's Kawhi Leonard and
Anthony Edwards, right? He'd be Anthony Edwards.
Exactly. So he's not that guy, and it's just annoying because when he is locked in how good he can be.
I also don't think okay, I'm not gonna say that he doesn't care, but I think if Moody and Kuminga, maybe more so Moody, is cutting into Clay's minutes, like you're saying, in the next 3 years, I think Clay's gonna have a tough time getting over that in his head. If Kuminga's cutting into Wiggins minutes the next 3 years, I don't, and this might be a bad thing, both ways might be a bad thing. I don't know if Wiggins is going to be like, oh, I need to be this. And I think he's just kind of, all right, like that's cool. As long as we're winning, we're good, right? Like that's kind of his thing, which again is a good thing. But they also, they're going to need to bring that dog out of him when they play the Suns, for example. They're going to need Andrew Wiggins. They're not beating him without a fully ready-to-go Andrew Wiggins, unless you tell me Kuminga's ready. But Kuminga can't even stay healthy 4 games in the season, right? So they're going to...
Dude, it was just a knee, just a knee-on-knee
worrisome.
Contact.
I texted you before the game. Worrisome that he already is out of the game. I
ignored that because I thought it was silly.
I just, it's worrisome that he's not playing. It's game 4, and he's out for a knee contusion. I mean, come on. Steph's foot is killing him. I made that up. I don't know if it is.
We get to one more. We're gonna call it easy. We'll be back Wednesday as usual.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Veza,
CP's
what's up,
coming
man?
up. Veza. or Visa?
Can you give us a correct pronunciation?
Yeah.
Visa.
Oh, you're muted if you're talking. Unmute.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, we can hear you. What's up, man?
What's up? You guys like the new pick? You know, the point guard.
Love it.
Hashtag back the blue. We love the cops now.
Oh my God! Oh,
You know I'm with you on that. Let's go.
Just kind of wanted.
Actually, no. By the way, did you hear Fitz as they were going in transition? Fitz goes, "Here comes the blue wave," and I'm just like,
I heard that and I was immediately cringing. I'm like, what in the hell is this? The blue wave. What the
By the way, I think Fitz is hyper aware of this stuff, and he's just like, Kalena, listen
loves
to this.
Either way,
listen to this. He's like, "I got you, bro. I got you."
here's like my question for y'all. I feel like this is the first time we've had a bench since 16-17 in a way where it's like we have a point guard similar to like S. Dot who would just calm everything down. And CP3 really has done that for us. And I just did not expect it to fit in this well. So
We're all in. I'm with you.
I mean, did you guys feel like it was gonna mesh this well already?
Oh, I did. I was in. I'm gonna victory lap this one as much as I can and ignore all my bad takes.
He's I think the Livingston one is pretty but to, like Sam said, like it's like a Livingston Andre combo, right? Sam was locked in on this. Dude, let me look at that picture, dude. Look at that AV.
Hey, man.
Chris Paul looks ridiculous.
Look at the aura, jersey. Man.
Hey, do we think he has more aura in the Warriors jersey? By the way, I totally forgot that he was a Pelican. Totally blew. So when they start booing him,
same.
It's like, why are they booing Chris Paul?
He's like low key played for half the league. It's kind of funny.
Yeah,
been in the league for a while. What year is it for Chris Paul? What year is it for?
19? 19, right?
19.
It's 20 or 19, something like
same
that.
Year.
Old.
He's same age as LeBron.
Same age.
He did play college, so he didn't come out till the following.
So 19 years.
The comments are saying 19.
Yeah.
Comments.
That is correct. Now I'm looking at his 2005 draft. So, yeah.
Man,
just wanted to stop by. Yeah.
Did you say he's our favorite cop? Is that what you said before we get you out of here? What did you say?
Oh, yeah. He's our favorite cop. We back the blue now.
Oh, my God. That's...
All right, y'all. Yeah,
I appreciate you, man. I love new callers. We needed that.
I think we end it there. I think that's the way we call it. Oh, wait. No, we got Luke here. I promised Luke I'd bring him up.
Oh, man. Look. 8 o'clock. Good finish. I still got the rest of the night. Can watch the Lakers lose. They're winning. What's up, brother?
You got me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, how you going, boys? You good?
Where are you?
Good. Where are you?
I'm at work. It's fucking hot. It's like 35 degrees.
That's
like 110. This
is work, so yeah, all good. I'm pretty rock hard after that game. Hey, it's pretty good. I was just gonna say to Mick's point, I think the Wiseman comparison's actually way off. I think he's the next Looney, to be honest with you. I think this whole getting Dejan and getting a fucking big man coach that can actually help him out, I think it's probably going to work out in the right way because he reminds me of Looney. I think he just does all the good shit. He doesn't get pushed around, and he doesn't whinge, he doesn't sook. He does his job. I think we've found a real keeper there, to be honest. And I don't know who was the shooting coach, Sammy, that Moody hooked up with in the off season, because his shot is fucking unreal. You know who it was?
He could shoot before that. He could always shoot. I think
he changed
everything just slowed down.
But man, every time it goes up now, Sammy, I think it's going in.
Facts.
Mate, and I was saying this on Discord before too. Sorry if you can't hear. I was like fucking helicopters in the background. I was going to say, I was saying on Discord, you know what I say the theme of this podcast should be too? I feel like this team now, compared to like, say, 2017 and shit, it rhymes with the word hunt, so I figured you guys can figure that out.
Oh, boy.
They feel like a nightmare to play. Do you guys agree? Like, I feel like everyone just goes, oh fuck, these guys we're gonna have to be switched on. We can't have like an easy game because everyone knows their job now. Do you know what I mean?
I like that. I like that.
You know, like
it's true. They have depth. They're gonna play all 48 minutes. They're gonna, you go to the bench. They're gonna try to take advantage of it. Chris Paul's gonna come in. He's gonna grift against your backups. It's a nightmare matchup. They're annoying.
That's what I think too. I think that's the word. They're just annoying to play now because everyone knows their role and everyone knows what they're like. Everyone just buys into what's going on. And also the big thing too is that it seems like Kerr's not having to do that bullshit you talked about last year. Like where if Kuminga and Clay were out last year, we're all sitting on this podcast the other after the show going, oh, fuck, yeah, here we go. Yeah, sweet. Old mate got 30 minutes a game. Moody got 5 minutes a game. But it's all right, though. I need to do better. It's okay. It's all good, man. I need to do better. But,
the mea culpa when they suck is the most infuriating thing possible. I need to find minutes for him.
I think the only thing I'll toss up to boys is, and I know it's way too early for this shit, but I'll tell you right now, if Chris Paul stays healthy as he is right now, I think he's a real shot for MVP, boys. I really do, because he doesn't have to do any of the shit work anymore. He gets to cook whenever he wants now. I think it's a real chance, boys. I'm rock hard for it. If I could bet on, I'd go for it right now. Seriously, boys. I think it's an outstanding shout.
That's what we're titling this pod, Rock Hard.
I'm rock hard for it. I just posted it.
I'll tell you, if your table's not elevated watching these boys play, you guys aren't real Warriors fans. So, but I got to split. I'm on my lunch break, but I'll take it easy, boys.
I appreciate you, Luke.
Sir. That's what we're ending it. We are all rock hard right now.
Well done. Done.
Just, you know what? Yes. We're just like this. Let's get a new ED sponsor. We know we can move.
4 hymns. What is it? Blue Chew. We'll do it again. All right, guys. I'll see you Wednesday.
Later.